I say the same thing before I fought with Golovkin. No, he's a monster. He's gonna knock out Canelo. He's this and that. At the end of the day, it's not the same being in the ring with other fighters like being in the ring with me. It's different. Benavidez is a good fight. He's a good fighter, but I mean, man, I've been in the ring in hard fights with every single good fighter there. So
in a stunning twist, Canelo Alvarez has at last responded to the reports that he is set to face David Benavidez in a massive $600 million showdown. Canelo has now addressed the situation after Michael Benson confirmed the WBC ruling that requires him to step into the ring with Benavidez, a decision that has sparked strong reactions across the sport. The WBC, led by President Mauricio Sulaimán, has officially stated that Benavidez must challenge Alvarez in March. This latest update adds even more intensity to an already heated boxing landscape.
Defeated planned in March of this year.
Yeah.
So his date for mandatory position is March 2024.
Wow. All right. So, but Canelo has the option to take that earlier. That's
yeah. So they can fight any.
Canelo Alvarez is widely regarded as one of the sport's true greats, with a career that has built a powerful and lasting legacy. His achievements have earned him deep respect across boxing, yet now he appears set to face David Benavidez, a determined and talented fighter whose hunger and ability mirror the early days of Alvarez himself. According to a recent post shared by Michael Benson, the possibility of this matchup is gaining serious attention. Said David Ben, odds will be officially set as Canelo Alvarez's WBC mandatory challenger in March. WBC President Mauricio Sulaimán has reaffirmed. Sulaiman has not clarified when the fight will be ordered, but indicated Canelo will be free to face another opponent in May.
A headline that said that we know David Benavidez has been campaigning to get an opportunity to fight Canelo Alvarez. I saw a headline that stated that, Canelo Alvarez is going to be mandated, should he be victorious this Saturday. Obviously, that's putting the carriage before the horse. But if he's victorious this Saturday, does the winner of this fight inherit David Benavidez as a mandatory challenger?
Benavidez is a mandatory for the WBC, and the date for mandatory is March. So the winner of the fight, if it's Charlo, he will decide if he remains in super middle, goes back to super welter. But I just concentrate on.
It now seems that the showdown fans have been waiting for could finally be close as Canelo prepares for the highly anticipated bout that has generated major buzz throughout the boxing world. Last year, WBC President Mauricio Sulaimán explained that if David Benavidez defeated Demetrius Andrade, he would secure his place as Canelo's mandatory challenger. Following the WBC's latest update, the spotlight is now firmly on Alvarez to give Benavidez the opportunity to fight for the undisputed super middleweight championship. Until recently, many insiders believed Canelo was likely to face Jermall Charlo next. However, fresh remarks from Mauricio Sulaimán may shift that narrative, as he indicated that a clash between Benavidez and Canelo represents the most sensible move going forward.
There are very few things that piss me off, contrary to what you would normally believe. I don't get pissed off at much, because most things don't matter that much, but I love the sport of boxing. I'm like, what about David Benavidez, the natural super middleweight, who's 28-0 with 24 knockouts, who's been begging for Canelo to get into the ring with him?
Moreover, WBC President Mauricio Sulaimán has confirmed that David Benavidez could indeed become Canelo Alvarez's mandatory challenger, stating that it is very possible for Benavidez to secure his spot in March. He also shared details about ongoing discussions between the camps, noting that if Canelo has a fight lined up for May, negotiations are already underway and the parties are working it out. The WBC will step in if needed. Meanwhile, Alvarez has confirmed he plans to face an American opponent on May 4th during the Cinco de Mayo weekend. While Jermall Charlo was initially considered a top candidate due to his brother's defeat, David Benavidez, also an American, remains a contender. It is still unclear whether Alvarez will face Benavidez or if the WBC will intervene to make the fight happen. Alvarez has already ruled out Terence Crawford, despite the interest a pound-for-pound clash would generate. Even after Crawford's win over Errol Spence Jr. last year, Alvarez has shown no desire for that matchup, partly due to the 20-pound weight difference and the potential criticism he would face. He explained that financial gain isn't a major factor, and beating Crawford would still draw complaints that the opponent was too small. Alvarez from Guadalajara is confirmed to fight on May 4th, 2026, likely in Las Vegas at either the T-Mobile Arena or the MGM Arena. After his win over Charlo, Alvarez was asked about his next opponent and gave a direct response, showing no interest in Crawford. On the other hand, Benavidez has publicly called out Canelo for an undisputed title clash at 168 pounds, insisting he is ready whenever Alvarez is and that he will keep competing if the fight doesn't happen. Thanks to his connection with Ohani's PBC, with whom Canelo has a 3-fight deal, Benavidez is poised and prepared to step in if Alvarez's chosen opponent falls through.
It's Canelo, man. You think Benavidez could beat Canelo? And any thoughts, a week removed from that Benavidez plant fight?
That's a tough fight. It's a tough fight because people just look at this matchup, but it's styles that makes the fights. And Canelo does a lot of things really well inside the ring, and he'll get up for a fight like that. He'll really get up. But Benavidez is the real deal. I mean, I love him as a fighter.
Fun to watch.
Yeah, fun to watch. Very entertaining. I don't know where Canelo is at now. After didn't he come off of an injury?
Yes.
I don't know where he's at with that. You got to kind of see that. Benavidez young and in his prime, so it would be a great fight.
It'd be a good bump, like you said.
Yeah, I would love to see it.
Alternatively, boxing's biggest global star might be interested in facing the fighter who took over as the pound-for-pound #1 after Alvarez defeated Charlo. Crawford recently stated on social media that a Canelo versus Crawford matchup would be the biggest fight in the sport. However, Alvarez quickly cooled the speculation, saying that a fight with Crawford does not make sense right now, and he just wants to enjoy the moment. While such a bout would surely capture fans' attention, it may require patience before it happens since Crawford is American and connected to PBC. It is possible that some behind-the-scenes agreement between the two stars exists. Meanwhile, Leonard Ellerbe shared his thoughts on Alvarez's potential future opponents, suggesting that a fight against David Benavidez would likely bring in higher pay-per-view numbers than a matchup with Terence Crawford.
Fun to watch.
Yeah, fun to watch. Very entertaining. I don't know where Canelo is at now. After didn't he come off of an injury?
Yes.
I don't know where he's at with that. You got to kind of see that. Benavidez young and in his prime, so it would be a great fight.
It'd be a good bump, like you said.
Yeah, I would love to see.
He highlights the critical role pay-per-view success plays in deciding which high-profile fights make sense, explaining that his perspective comes from a deep knowledge of the boxing world. While a matchup with Terence Crawford might be exciting from a pure competition standpoint, he points out that it does not compare to the revenue potential of a Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez fight. He said he knows the numbers and the business, emphasizing that this is not about who deserves the fight, but about commercial reality. The difference between these fights illustrates how fan interest and financial success can diverge. He also referenced the highly anticipated Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford fight, noting that despite its importance in the boxing community, it did not achieve the pay-per-view numbers of other major bouts, like Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. He added that Crawford is undeniably one of the best in the sport, but business considerations are separate from athletic merit. According to him, even though Spence versus Crawford featured two elite undefeated fighters in their prime, the biggest commercial fight during that period was actually Davis versus Garcia. His analysis underscores the delicate balance between maintaining the sport's integrity and making financially smart decisions, showing that careful planning is needed to respect competition while ensuring fights are commercially viable.
Fight Benavidez Canelo, and many people want to see the fight. I don't know what's going to happen in the future.
Hey, and how does it feel to be in the Hall of Fame, man? How does it feel to be?
I feel great. After the many years of career.
Yes.
This is the last step to get the International Boxing Hall of Fame. I feel great. I feel very happy.
Let me ask both. Do y'all feel like? Let me ask both of y'all. Do y'all feel like Canelo? Do y'all dislike that statement about not fighting Mexican fighters?
Yeah, I feel like because there's a lot of great Mexican fighters, that Canelo can make the fight happen. I feel like it feels such for the Mexican people, bro. Why not all break bread each other? Why not let's make a big fight happen. We all get paid, and we put on.
Many Mexican people want to see the fight Canelo Benavidez. I don't know. The people want to see the people that I don't know. The promoters needs to make the fight.
Focusing on long-term planning and smart fight choices, Air highlights the many factors involved in putting together major boxing events. He explains that some fights, even if successful, earn less than others, and that understanding the marketplace, including piracy and all the elements affecting pay-per-view success, is key to making the right decisions. Looking ahead to an upcoming card on Amazon Prime, he emphasizes his strategy of picking fights that are both competitive and engaging for viewers, balancing the sport's excitement with financial goals. He said that while some promoters may not prioritize careful planning, his approach is to make thoughtful choices, even if some fans disagree, because there is always a method and a long-term plan behind it. Through his experience perspective, Air illustrates the subtle business dynamics in boxing and the importance of strategic decisions for the sport's growth and sustainability. He added that he is excited for the Amazon Prime card, describing it as a strong lineup of fights that should get a great response, even if it's not an all-star roster. From a business standpoint, he notes that the Alvarez versus Benavidez matchup is the bigger fight, offering more revenue potential. Meanwhile, legendary former Mexican boxer Juan Manuel Márquez has publicly expressed his hope for Canelo to face David Benavidez as soon as possible, urging the bout to happen without delay.
Yes, if they fight, what do you think?
I think it's a really, really good fight. Like I said, I'm a Benavidez fan, so I think Benavidez could have the edge because he's bigger and taller, but Canelo's a great fighter, so I don't know.
It's good for boxing. It'll be a big one.
It's great for boxing.
In a separate interview, Juan Manuel Márquez said that David Benavidez has been the official challenger for over a year and stressed that the WBC may have to strip Canelo Alvarez of the title if he refuses the fight. Márquez explained that the bout could happen in May or September, but the key point is that Benavidez is the official challenger and must face the Mexican star. If a fight does not happen, Márquez urged the WBC to take action, noting that Benavidez is clearly ready and demanding his opportunity. He added that the governing body has no choice but to enforce its rules if Alvarez refuses. On the other hand, Canelo has shared in an interview with Hugo Sanchez that he plans to continue boxing for at least 4 more years, saying that he felt his best from ages 28 to 29, and that by 37 he hopes to enjoy life with his family and other pursuits. Canelo also expressed interest in having a fight at Mexico's premier sports venue, the Azteca Stadium in Mexico City, before retiring. He noted that after defeating Jermall Charlo, he is ready to fight again on May 4th against any opponent, confident in his ability. Another notable point is that among all his opponents, Canelo's bout with Shane Mosley was one of the toughest early in his career, and over a decade later, Mosley believes David Benavidez has the talent to challenge and impress against Alvarez.
We'll see. We 100% focus on this fight, but everything is possible right now.
So is the plan to go back-to-back with the brothers? You said no up there, so that's not the plan?
It's not my plan. Right now, I'm focused 100% in Jermel, but you never know. Could happen.
In a recent conversation with Fight Hype, Shane Mosley discussed the qualities that make David Benavidez a tough opponent for Canelo Alvarez. He highlighted Benavidez's recent victory over Demetrius Andrade, praising his relentless energy and mental toughness, traits that set him apart as an elite fighter. Mosley said that Benavidez is a beast not only in the ring, but in mindset, and that watching fighters like him is exciting. He noted that Andrade struggled against Benavidez because of the size and intensity difference, yet he still gave his all. Mosley believes that a fight with Canelo would be highly competitive, as Alvarez would have to stay active and cannot simply counterpunch, making it a constant challenge. He added that while Canelo has excellent speed and countering ability, Benavidez's height and long reach could pose difficulties, similar to past matchups Canelo has had with taller opponents. Mosley concluded that it would be a great fight, not an easy one for either side, and emphasized how Benavidez's physical advantages and fighting style could force Canelo to adapt. His insights provide a clear picture of the tactical and physical factors that would make a Canelo versus Benavidez matchup intriguing, giving fans a sense of the challenges and excitement such a bout could bring. Now it remains to see how Canelo himself views a potential fight with Benavidez.
Is steadily improved, and I think as a coach, that's what you look for in a fighter. You look in a young fighter. It doesn't matter the age, just fight by fight, he seems to be getting better.